Good morning. Welcome to the Iron Orchid Designs Facebook page. My name is Shannon Stefanacci, and I am with Pickin Boots Vintage down in sunny Southwest Florida. And we are going to create a fun project today. Super simple, yet it's cute and it's very useful. Real quick though, before we get started, if you would just somebody pop on and just say, hey, I'm here. Let me know that I'm actually live and you guys can see me. I'd appreciate that. While I'm waiting for just somebody to comment real quick that you're here, I'm going to show you a few projects that I did on my own Facebook page the last couple weeks with the Figgy pudding transfer. So here is one. I have this box back here. It's one of those old wood toolboxes. And I just stuffed it with some greens. You can put candles behind there. And then I just used the Merry Christmas. It's stacked on top on the paper, but I simply cut it across and just made it into one long word instead. So that's super easy. Throw a little bit of the buffalo plaid red and black on there, and it makes it super cute. And here's another one. This was a super kind of not my style bell. It was red. It was like this red, and it had a white kind of like Amish pattern on it or something. And then I just simply use a little bit of chalk paint, some rust patina, and the moose head, which I absolutely love, the moose head, and a bow and some greenery, and it totally transforms the bell. So again, if you are here with me and you can hear me and everything's working well, just say hello or let me know where you're from, and we're going to get started. So today we are going to be making a Christmas card holder. This is the time of year. I'm sure you've probably already got some, but you're going to be getting more. Christmas cards are very popular. You take a picture of your family and then you mail them to your friends, and you just let people know how you're doing and show everybody how everybody has grown. Well, this is kind of what they look like. So you get these and you're like, well, what do I do with them? You want to put them on display. Some people have cute little card holders. Some people don't. So what we're going to do today is we're going to actually create our own. Hello, Wenda, Carol, and Shirley. Thank you for signing in so I know that I am live. Let me show you what we're going to be doing. So Iron Orchid Designs has these really fun gallery wall blanks. You can use the frame side, or there's just the flat side. So what I did was I gave this a base coat first. This is what we're going to use. So I'm not going to give the trick away yet of what we're going to use to hold the Christmas cards. So you have to stick around to see that little treat. But we're going to get started. So I'm going to, excuse me, split my screen. And here is our board. So, excuse me, what we're going to do is I'm going to use this. Here is a Christmas tree. It's a vintage Christmas tree. It says Christmas greetings, which fits perfectly with what we're going to be focusing on, which is Christmas cards. So it's a greeting from one family to the next. There are some extra pieces here that I don't need to use. These are cute, so I'm going to save them, but I'm just going to go ahead and cut them off. So I'm going to cut those off, and I will save these for another project. So I have a little, one of those scrapbook square things. You put them in, and I throw them all in there, and they stay together. So this is kind of bland, though, with this background. And, oh, thanks, Karen. I appreciate that. Hey, Joanne. Oh, hi, Joanne. It's kind of bland with this kind of boring background. I wanted to kind of keep it neutral, so we're going to add a little bit of pizzazz real quick. Just because most of you that don't know me very well, if you don't follow my own page on Pickin Boots, if you do know, I love red. So I'm going to jazz this up with a little bit of red. You can use whatever kind of paint you have, chalk paint, whatever. It doesn't matter. So I'm just giving it a nice coat. I'm just going to frame it in just to give it a little bit of dimension. Now, there are so many different things or ways you can do this. Things you can add, things you can change. You can use any of the transfers, any from the Figgy pudding, because they're super cute. I'm trying to put on a thin coat so it dries in time. You could use whatever color you want. I could have chose a different background, a green, a black, whatever you do. You don't want to have it where it's too busy, where it's going to take away from our figgy pudding, the old vintage Christmas tree transfer. And you certainly don't want to detract from the Christmas cards you're going to display on this. The nice thing about this is you can hang it two different ways. You can either hang it on the wall, or you can just use one of those picture stands. And I'll show you that at the end. Let me just make sure I have one nice even coat here. And I'm hoping that this is going to dry super fast. All right, so again, if you're just popping on, this is just one of the wood gallery blanks from IOD. This is the big one. I'm using the 12 by 16. So here we are. Now we're going to place the transfer right in the middle. I've already cut out the extra pieces that were there, saving them for later. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to center it as best as possible. There we go. I'll just lay it down and give it a nice rub. I like the red because it picks up from the red from the Christmas trees. And of course you just use the stick that comes with your transfer. And you just make sure you give a nice little rub to the whole entire transfer. You can generally tell where you've rubbed as opposed to where you haven't, because when it releases onto your surface, it turns translucent. So I can definitely see. You probably can't because of the glare of all the lights in here, but definitely can see where it's releasing. I always like to go back over it once I've given it a once over, just because I tend to sometimes forget an area. And you definitely want to make sure that your underlying coat of chalk paint or whatever kind of paint you use is already dry, because the transfer needs to be onto a dry surface. If your paint or your surface is a little wet, when you take the transfer off, it might just pull the paint off and might not stick. So definitely make sure your paint is dry. If I can, I generally tend to leave it overnight just so I make sure, but you don't have to by any means. Just make sure it's dry. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull from the top, and I'm going to go slowly so I make sure that all of the tree has rubbed on. And I'm just going to rub as I pull, just to make sure. This is one of my favorite parts of this figgy pudding transfer. This and the moose. I love the moose. He is just too cute. Well, actually, there's 2 moose and 2 reindeer, but okay, so this is coming off nicely. Make sure my letters come off nice. Ta-da! Now look at that. Now this just in itself is a great wall piece you can put on your wall and display. It's just very fitting for the times, the Christmas season. But we have more to do, because we need to turn this into a Christmas card holder. Now, this is what I discovered. I always knew that I like these, that I'm going to show you in just a second. And I've never really had a way to use them. I just think they're a little overkill for what they're made for, but I figured out these would be very good for hanging your cards on. What they are, there's a sneak peek. These are ornament hooks. They're fancy, way too fancy for me, for my tree, but this would look really cute to hold your Christmas cards, because if you've seen any of the Christmas card holders, they have that fancy curl at the top, and these I picked up at Walmart for only $1.98. Totally worth it. You get 12 of them. So that is what we're going to use today. Before we do that though, I just want to show you something really quick. If you host at Christmas time and you do place settings, this is a good idea that you can use also. Let me grab it. With the, I didn't paint it or anything. I just wanted to show you. Here's this. Here's the mini blank gallery wall. This is a small one. It's 3 3/8 by 5 3/8. And then I just stapled one on top of here, and it makes where you can decorate this with maybe one of the smaller transfers with holly, and then you can take and put, let me see, do I have a picture? I have a picture. And you just put the picture, you tuck it right in like this. It kind of looks like the placeholders you get at the store. And then you have a place, of course you don't want to use a picture this big. This is just one that I had handy. But this would be, good morning, this would be really cute as place settings at your Christmas table. So that's another way you can use these hooks. But we're going to go ahead and do our hooks on here. The paint might still be a little wet, but we're going to go for it anyway. I don't want to bring my blow dryer out and make all kinds of noise. So there are different styles of these hooks you can get. These ones are stars. I'm going to be using the snowflakes. Look how cute these are. They're just little snowflakes. Depending on how you're going to hang yours, if you're going to fix on the back of hooks, you can hang on the wall. You can line up all of the hooks all the way around the outside. But if you're going to use like a picture frame stand like this one, then you're not going to really want to put any of the hooks at the bottom because your cards won't go down. And if you put them on the top part, you'll block the pretty where it says Christmas greeting on it. So at the very end, I am going to stick it, I'm going to put it right here on this display so you can see what the final project looked like. I did bring some Christmas cards from last year that I'll stick in there. Now, you can either hot glue these on, but if you're going to be putting cards in and taking cards out, I wouldn't really recommend hot glue. It'll do the purpose if you're going to stick a card in, but if for multiple use of this and over time, you're definitely going to want to use something stronger. So what you could actually do is hot glue them first and then come back with your staple gun. I just bought a brand new, I've treated myself to a toy. I have a cordless staple gun and I'm so excited. Normally I have the cord and it's all over the place, but these things work fabulously. But before I start stapling these on, let's lay them out. Again, these are just simple ornament hooks from Walmart, $2. So I want to place them, I want to have a little bit of space just so my cards, whoops, you can see the different cards. Now, some people might choose to actually measure and get the exact ratio between. Me, I'm more of a eyeball kind of person. So I'm just trying to determine like how many I should put on each side. So right here, that's 4 on each side. And that looks like it's a pretty good amount. I might want to go ahead and just put one more just in case. So I'll put 5 on each side. So I can do this. Now again, if I was hanging it on the wall, I can put a couple down here so the pictures can go down, like hang all around it. Though I'm putting it in this one in a picture stand, so I can actually put some above if I wanted, but I'm not gonna do that because I might put a bow up there. I'm not quite sure. Another thing that would be super cute is if you took the Harper letters and used some clay, and you could write out, you know, the year. Maybe you make a new one every year. Or you could write, what else could you write? Oh gosh. You could write your name. You know, my last name Stefanacci, so I could put Stefanacci family. You know, you could put anything, but that Harper mold is so much fun. That is probably one of my most favorite molds. I just love to create words and sayings and sentences. But, okay, so this is gonna be my layout. Let me scooch it over so you can see the entire project in the picture. So what do you think so far? Do you like it? So I'm just going to simply staple these on, and that should make it very sturdy for when you're putting your cards in and out. So I need to stand up for this one. Okay. So is anybody out there, or does anybody have all their Christmas presents wrapped and under the tree? I'm halfway there. I'm so excited. I feel like I'm ahead of the ball game. So I'm just going to take this and apply some pressure, and there we go. Now, I only put one on. I'm going to put 2 staples on just because 2 is better than 1. Thanks, Pat. I appreciate that. There we go. Now it's on, and it's not going to go anywhere unless, of course, I try to pull it off. So these are jumping around a little bit, so I'm going to stick them to the side just so when I staple them on, they're not shaking too much. Now, another thing I could do is I can stagger them out, in, or different ways, whatever you want to do. So I can put them sideways, I can have them all angled. I'm just going to vary it just a little, not too much. I apologize about the noise. It's a little loud, but. Now, after you staple them, if you find that they still move a little bit, go ahead and just maybe put a little drop of glue, or use a hot glue first and then staple it on, and then that way you know for sure they're not going anywhere. I don't know about you guys, but I love getting the Christmas cards every year just to see how much families have changed, how much they've grown. Sometimes some of my friends will even include a letter just explaining, you know, where their son might be at college, or if they've had a new grandbaby. That's always a nice thing when you get a letter in your card. Okay, so that side is finished. So I'll try to see if I can give you a better angle. Now let's go ahead and do this side. I'm actually going to turn it just so it's easier for me to staple. I need to be able to see because there's a guide on the staple gun. Now, do I care if they line up across from each other? I personally don't, because by the time you put all your cards in there, it'll be all uneven anyway because everybody has different cards. So, oops, totally missed that one. Okay, there, that one's on. We've had such nice weather in Florida lately, but today it's going to be a little warm. It's going to be like in the 80s. Oof. Though I can't really complain because 80 is way better than 20. So if you know anybody that gets a lot of Christmas cards or is just really crafty and wants to make, you can make this for a gift for somebody. That would be really cute. There's so many different transfers you can pick with the figgy pudding that you could make a bunch of these. Of course, all you need to do is visit your local retailer or you're an online retailer. I've included the link in my video description so you know where you can get your supplies. Okay, just 2 more that I need to staple on. Oops, I totally missed that one. Okay, and the last one. Oops. It's not a good angle. I can't really see, so there we go. Okay, so let me turn this back around. Now, what do you think so far? Looks kind of weird because it's laying down. I have some options. I'm going to steal this bow back here. I can put a bow at the top, which I really like. It's kind of just finishes it off. So instead of hot gluing it, I'm just going to staple it real quick, just since I already have my staple gun out. Ta-da! Love this. So, oh, that's not really a good angle. Here it is flat. What we're going to do now is I'm going to put it up here on the shelf, and I'm going to put some cards in it so you can see it in action. I'm a little fast in my video today. Normally, I try to go like 30, 45 minutes, but This project was just so fun and so easy to do. I'm almost done. Make sure you check out other videos on the Iron Orchid Designs page. There are so many good ideas that you just need to scroll through and see something that you like, watch the video and learn. And learn how to do some really creative techniques or products. So let me just zoom out real quick. Solo. And I'm going to put this right here. So here we have it. Let me move my bell because I think I might knock the bell over. Of course, when I get done, I'm going to take some pictures and I will post them. And here are some Christmas cards. These are just some ones I had laying around from last year. So I'm just simply going to stick them in. Ta-da! And I'll put this one over here. And then we'll put one down here. I kind of just spaced them out because I only have 3. So you're just going to have to decide which ones go on top when you do it, so which ones are your favorites. So anyway, here you have it. Here is a Christmas card holder made with Iron Orchid Designs figgy pudding and a little bit of paint and simple ornament hangers from Walmart. $1.98. So thank you. I appreciate you watching. I've had a great 6 months on the IOD page. I have one more time, which is in 2 weeks. So I'm going to be doing something fun for that. And then if you're interested, I have my own page. I do all my own videos also. 27 here. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. And I hope you all have a happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you and your family. And again, thank you for joining me. I'm Shannon with Pickin Vintage. Have a fabulous day.